And I am live. What is going on, everybody? Good morning. How is everyone doing? Welcome back to yet another review for What If. It is episode 5. Let me just double check to make sure the audio is working. Just want to double check. 1 second. Double testing. Double testing. All right, I sound good. All right. What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to What If, episode 5 review. Hope everyone is doing well. If you guys are new to the channel and if you love What If, be sure to hit that like button and helps the channel out a lot. If you want to see more content like this, consider clicking that subscribe button for more reviews, reactions, rankings, and more movie content. So as always, guys, we'll dive into this episode, give you guys my spoiler-filled thoughts, and then we will dive into my overall thoughts on the episode and kick it off next week's episode. So, episode 5 was pretty much Marvel Zombies. It was pretty much the MCU's version of The Walking Dead. What if this was a zombie apocalypse for the MCU, basically? If you had zombie Captain America, you had zombie Iron Man, zombie Falcon, zombie uh, Hawkeye, like you name it. It's pretty much The Walking Dead in the MCU. So this episode pretty much opens off right off the bat with Bruce Banner, and he lands in the Sanctum, just like in Avengers Infinity War. And he's wondering where everybody is, and so he puts on one of the Sorcerer Supreme training outfits, and then he goes outside the street, and he sees Ebony Maw and Cull Obsidian land on Earth just like the events in Infinity War. Ebony Maw and Cull Obsidian do enter the scene, and we do see a image of Iron Man's hand come out of Doctor Strange's little twisty thingy holes. And we see that they're beating up on Cull Obsidian and Ebony Maw, but they're eating their skulls out. And Bruce Banner is kind of scared of what he's looking at, and then he sees that they are actually zombies and they are pretty much killing him. And you see the iconic shot of Iron Man, they're all zombies, and so Bruce has no idea what is going on, and that pretty much is the whole entire episode. It's a bunch of MCU heroes fighting off against the Avenger zombies and other zombies around the world. And so then you have pretty much the opening credits that have already happened. And so coming into the help with Bruce Banner after we see them literally just eat off Ebony Maw and Cull Obsidian. And so we see Spider-Man Supreme, like I've been waiting for in this series, seeing Spider-Man Supreme. You see other characters like Okoye come into the scene, and Bucky as well, save Bruce, and also the Wasp as well is in this episode too. And so these group of people are all coming together. But Spider-Man Supreme, that was what I wanted to see. And it was pretty cool seeing that, just to see Spider-Man wearing Doctor Strange's cape right here. And I thought it was a great idea to have Okoye be in this episode because Denai Guerrero, of course, is in The Walking Dead. And to see her leading off the team to help stop the zombies. So I thought that was pretty awesome to watch. And then you see other characters show up in here as well, like Happy Hogan and Scott Lang. But we'll get to that right here. So there's definitely some sacrifices that happen in this episode, including Happy right here. Happy pretty much sacrifices himself, and he gets caught by zombie Hawkeye, gets dragged, and then he turns into a zombie. We see Falcon zombie. So that was pretty weird. Sam Wilson, I remember Okoye in the episode was like, I'm sorry, he was your friend. I apologize. And yeah, we see Wasp sacrifice herself too. One of my biggest surprises of the show is how it's not afraid to go dark. just like the previous episode with Doctor Strange, like that was my favorite episode. And it's still my favorite episode. It's not afraid to go dark and serious. And this episode goes really dark and serious as well. And we do see from the trailer, we do see Zombie Cap and Bucky have a little exchange on the train. So Zombie Cap versus Bucky, that was probably a highlight of the episode for me. And see him taking the shield from Zombie Cap, and he says his iconic line, "I'm sorry, pal, but it's the end of the line." So that's a iconic quote that Bucky and Steve say to each other. So there's just a lot of sacrifices, but I think one of the highlights of this episode for me was probably Hope Van Dyne's sacrifice, because I remember in the episode where the Avengers die, Hope Van Dyne pretty much died in that incident, and then Hank went absolutely nuts and crazy and became a villain. And in this one, she does sacrifice herself after she gets bit by the zombie, and we see her have a nice exchange with Peter, and just talking about stay smiling. She grows big, and then the zombies end up eating her, and she turns into a zombie later. So they're not afraid to try different things and kill off characters, that's for sure. But I think the latter half of the episode got really weird and interesting, like Scott Lang's head. Pretty weird and interesting right there, but it is Paul Rudd's voice accompanying it that made it pretty more entertaining in there. So Scott Lang had a presence towards the end of the episode here, but I think the most interesting and the cool flipping of the script is Vision this time around, Paul Bettany. This time doing anything possible to save Wanda, but Wanda pretty much is a zombie, so she can't be saved pretty much. And so Vision feels terrible for what he did, and so he feels like he can't live. So I thought it was cool seeing Vision know what he's doing is kind of wrong. And so Vision had a presence in this episode. And correction, Chadwick Boseman's last performance was not in episode 2, but Chala also appears in this episode as well. So rest in peace to Chadwick Boseman. It's always heartbreaking to see him on the screen right here. But he's pretty much injured, and so they have to get him out because Vision ended up capturing him or something like that. So it was cool to see T'Challa once again in this episode here. But it just gets really weird. This episode is insane and weird at the same time. But our zombie Wanda, that was pretty interesting. And I really like the final half of the episode where Hulk ends up coming out and he's fighting Wanda. And so zombie Wanda, that was pretty cool remark of seeing that in the latter half of this episode right here. But a cool way to end off this episode right here is them escaping. You got T'Challa, Spidey, and Scott. They're all on the plane. And T'Challa asks Peter if he's okay. And he's like, Mr. Stark recruited me to be a part of the Avengers. I don't want to lose any more friends. And then T'Challa says one of his more iconic lines, Ben, death is not the end. And he said something about the Avengers coming back or something. But that was pretty much the end of the episode. And then Jeffrey writes, The Watcher ends us off with a little bit of a monologue and him saying a really dark line that there's other people out there. And then we see a really cool shot of zombie Thanos. I thought that was just, yeah, just zombie Thanos. This shot right here. I mean, I was like, oh my god, that's like a painting right there. Just to send me that painting right now of zombie Thanos. Like that's I didn't need that, but I love that. So that was a cool dark way to end off this episode right here. So overall thoughts, guys, I thought the Marvel Zombies episode was pretty rewarding. It was a pretty epic episode around seeing the Walking Dead, but in the MCU. So hats off to the What If filmmakers, AC Bradley, and all of them for really coming up with a cool concept of bringing the Walking Dead into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And to speculate what this next What If episode could be, There's still some other ideas that haven't happened yet. I know there was a shot in the poster of Gamora wearing Thanos' armor, and Vision as well becoming Ultron. Uh, I can't think of the other ones that I'm missing, but there's 4 more episodes left of season 1, and we are getting a season 2. So I'm excited to see what these remaining episodes, what if episodes are. What's up to the people in the chat? It was evening in my area. Good to see you here, Meadowland fan. Not surprised. I didn't know, and not surprised that's a Marvel zombie in this episode. And Joseph Lansdell, thank you for tuning in. Guys, thank you so much for tuning on in here for my episode 5 review for What If. Next week is episode 6. Look forward to my review for that. You guys are seriously all the best. And look forward to my next week episode. It's going to be insane. You guys are amazing. All my social media links are in the description below. I hope you guys have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.